Well, I thought I'd record one more update before we head up the river. This is a trip across Mobile Bay. You can see that there's a significant wave action. That's because the wind is directly on our tail at about between 15 and 20 knots. But for us, it's just a really nice downwind sail. We've got just our Genoa flying, and she's looking pretty today. No mainsail at all, just don't need it. We're cruising along at better than 5 knots. We've got 30 miles to go. You can see that far shoreline over there maybe. That's a bunch of really nice homes that are along the eastern shore of Mobile Bay, kind of in the Fairhope area. But yeah, this is a pretty neat spot. We've got 30 miles to go today to go to Turner's Marina over in Dog River, and then we will be ready to wait a few days and then head up the river to Demopolis, which will be all motoring. So very easy sail, nice and flat today. So flat that Kim's just laying here sleeping. But anyway, so but it's just a really nice day for this kind of sailing. Some people would say it's a little too choppy, but you know, Schiff just likes these conditions a lot. There's a big ship over there, a big tow. We're going to see a lot more of those on our trip. And there's a big 800-foot long tanker that's directly on our bow, but he's way over there. He's about, I don't know, 15 miles away, maybe 12 miles away. That guy over there is about 3 or 4 miles away. So anyway, we're kind of out here alone though. Not too many people want to sail in these conditions, I guess. Of course, it's middle of the week too. Middle of the coronavirus scare. Everybody's hunkered down. We are too. We're socially distanced from everybody, and we plan on keeping it that way. We're gonna stay on the boat in the marina for a few days, and we're gonna go up the river, which we'll be all by ourselves doing that. And when we get done with that, hopefully things will begin to stabilize around the country. We'll see. Maybe a long wait. We may end up having to go to an anchorage somewhere, but we're fully provisioned, and we could wait on the boat for a month or better without any problem at all. Have to start rationing water. That would about be the only major problem. But we're going to be in fresh water too, so that'll actually make that easier too, because we can take showers and stuff in that fresh water. Even though it won't be clean, it'll at least be fresh. So, okay, so that's it for the day. We'll hopefully do another check-in at some point, you know, along the river. We're going to go up the Mobile River, then the Tombigbee River, and then we'll get to Demopolis, Alabama, 215 miles up the river. So, anyway, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Well, good morning. It is about 8:30 in the morning. We are leaving the Dog River area, Turner Marine, headed out into the bay. We are going to be coming up here and making a turn to port to left and going towards downtown Mobile. In a little while we'll actually be in downtown Mobile. We are dodging a few crab pots right here, but Kim's at the helm. We're got very calm water this morning, which is nice. A little bit of breeze. We could probably actually sail a little bit if we really wanted to, but that'll be short-lived. So anyway, a little bit of fog this morning, but we're headed up the river. All the craziness that's going on in the world with the coronavirus, we're gonna just isolate ourselves for the next week or so while traversing up the river, you know, moving up the river, and then we will come out the other end and see where things are. But anyway, for now, life is pretty calm. Back behind us is Serendipity. We're both just motoring along at about 5 knots. Hopefully we can maintain 5 knots most of the day. We are very concerned about the amount of current that we will see when we get up to the river. Actually, the Mobile River will be the first part that we'll do. So we got about 45 miles or so up the Mobile River before we turn onto the Tombigbee River. So anyway, that's the update for the morning. I'm going to try to do some filming when we get into downtown. We'll see how that goes. Well, let's see. I guess it's morning. Today is the 25th of March. It is our third day on the river. We left Dog River on Monday, made 26.6 miles that first day. We made 47 miles yesterday. That was a long day. That was about 11 hours. It's tough going. We've got about a 2-knot current pushing right on us. We've been kind of running the inside. You can see that we're way over to the left side because the river's bending. And so we stay to the inside, and there's a little less current over here, and we're making just a little over 4 knots. At times when we get out in the current, we're down under 4. We could go a little bit faster, but not much. We have encountered a number of large tows, which are these very high horsepower pushing machines that have these huge barges in front of them, and it's quite a sight. And they're very friendly, and you just talk to them on the radio and ask them how they want you to pass, and you make a pass on them, or if they're coming our direction, which we've seen both. Some of them are pushing up this river going like 3 knots or less. Pretty crazy. But and every now and then, you even see a little little compound there. It looks like a house. I'm not sure if that's a weekend place or a place where somebody actually lives. I don't know how they get there. But anyway, but we've been doing this for hour on end, and the crazy part is the first 2 days, and even today, there's been some wind. We've actually been able to sail some and help us out a little bit. We actually got up to 5 knots a number of times the first day, and then yesterday, once you get up into these tree columns, the wind just kind of funnels down through here, so the wind's on your nose all the time. It's doesn't work out so well. But anyway, it's kind of pretty, it's been very, very pleasant. Today the river is more calm. The first night we were in an anchorage up a creek that was had a lot of current in it, and it was not really comfortable from the standpoint of just, still a lot of apprehension and all this. So I didn't sleep well that night. But the last night we were in just a dead calm anchorage up in this little lake that was kind of off to the side, kind of swampy, but a lot of bugs and stuff. But we were able to close things up and put the screens up, and we were fine. So anyway, we're on the Tombigbee River now. We are about 74 miles up, and we're going 215 or so. We've got 2 locks to go through. We expect to do our first lock tomorrow. That is if we don't see a change in the river. We might see some more current release, some more water release from the dams, which would create a lot more current. So we may sit tight for a day or two and see what happens. We are on the slow roll here because of all this going on in the world with the coronavirus and everything. So we are trying to decide if it's just better for us just to stay on the river. So our thoughts and prayers are with everyone. We're staying super isolated, which hopefully it will do us well if we don't get sick. So anyway, it's all good. We will be talking to you soon. Well, good morning. I'm going to do an update here. I haven't done one in quite a while. We are at mile mark 175, 76, something like that, along the Tombigbee River in Alabama. We've been on this river for 8 days now, and to make 175 miles. I know that sounds really slow, but we actually stopped for a few days. Had some floodwaters coming through, and we decided just to sit. Had a really nice anchorage, so we decided to hang out there for a little while. Today should be, if everything goes well, I'm not going to count those chickens yet, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Today could be our last day on the river. We could arrive at Demopolis this evening, probably a little after 5 o'clock. We are cruising along here. It looks like we're going pretty quickly, but we're actually only doing somewhere in the neighborhood of 4.5 knots speed over ground. It's a slow slog. I mean, our goal is to make it about 40 nautical miles today. So, I mean, it's a pretty drive. I mean, pretty cruise up the river. It's been pleasant from that perspective. We've had some really nice anchorages, and last night was a little sketchy, but up at this end of the river, there just aren't a lot of great anchorages. But we've been having some motor problems. We're emitting some steam out of our exhaust, and I've been having trouble figuring out what's causing it. The motor seems to be staying cool, and anyway, it's running okay, so we're just carrying on, and hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully we can make it there, and then we'll, I don't know whether we got just an old tired engine or whether we have a specific issue we just need to resolve. Anyway, then this morning we were getting ready to leave. We were going to get a really early start this morning. We got ready to leave, and it was pretty foggy, and I went to start the engine and nothing. I couldn't get anything out of the engine at all. No power, nothing worked. It took me about an hour to get to the point where I finally took a jumper cable and powered it from the battery directly to the starter, to the ignition switch, and it started. But then I didn't have any other power on anything else. And I was like, oh geez, what's going on now? So I figured out that now, after thinking about it for a little bit, probably was a corroded terminal or something on the ignition switch, because they didn't look corroded, but anyway, so what I ended up doing, but anyway, so we started running down the river, and now everything started working again. My alternator was not outputting because my voltage regulator was shut down, because the ignition switch wasn't turned on, at least didn't think it was turned on. Well, now it all works. So my guess was that that was a problem with the ignition switch. But anyway, kind of a cool sandbank over here along this side. Got a little white egret up there sitting up on the top, if you can see him, a little bird up there. We saw a bald eagle just a bit ago fly down and pick up a bird and take it over, pick up a fish and take it over to the bank, and sat up on a tree and started having his breakfast. So that was pretty cool. There goes that egret. He's going to take off and fly for us. Anyway, so long, wordy, sorry about that. just kind of documenting this whole trip. Like I said, it's been pretty. It's been enjoyable. It's kind of cool this morning, which, you know, it was in the 40s when we got up, but we had record high temperatures earlier in the trip. We had some temps that were close to 90 actually a few days ago. So anyway, hope this is finding everybody well with all that's going on in the world. We're just isolated out here on the river and hoping everything just stays good for everybody. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.